What's going on YouTube, man? So in this video, we're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to talk about the aerial vehicle operator. That's going to be the program that I talked about last video. Somebody did, like, they had a comment and they go ahead and just updated me on the information that's the most current. And that's what I pretty much, I want everybody to do. So if you have information that you feel like is more current or is updated, man, make sure you drop the link below. That way I could go ahead and verify that, and then I'll go ahead and make a video about it and post it up, and there'll be no problems. Everybody's here to learn. And the second thing I'm gonna talk about is gonna be it was a young lady at Fort Hood that said some things, and also it was a tragedy that happened in Texas we're gonna talk about as well. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, cool. So the program authorization 106 Alpha, this was February 2021. And so this was the updated version that somebody sent in and said that, hey, I feel like this is the most updated version that people should pretty much look at. So here we are. So this program authorization is for officer candidate indoctrination and training for active duty appointment to the U.S. Navy as Warrant Officer 1, the designator 7371, area vehicle operator. So most of the stuff that we already talked about in the last video applies to this video. So I'm not going to go too much in detail, but I will put this link in the description box below so that everybody can pretty much just see it. We want to make sure that everybody gets the most information, the most accurate information, because it's very important that you understand that there are other avenues for you to become an officer, and you don't have to stick to just one. Okay, so moving along, the BBC News, they pretty much put out this article talking about that the Texas shooting victims, they were sweet kids and lovable. So if you don't know, if you haven't turned on the TV in a while, there was a mass shooting at an elementary school, and so that these people were their lives were taken away, right? And it was like taken away by a gunman who was like, I think they said was 18 years old. But it's a tragedy just to see all these people lose their lives, and they was just trying to learn. And then you have the two teachers who was teaching the children. And so, long story short, I'm going to put this in the description box below because I don't like to harp too much on negative stuff. But it does deserve to get some recognition, because a lot of us, we feel that, or we in this bubble, especially in the military. If you like looking at this and you're a part of the military, you know what I mean? Like, we just go through our daily lives, and so stuff like this doesn't really affect us that much. So if it doesn't affect us, we're not really looking at it for, what it is. And so, like, for people that think like that, man, it's still important. It's a lot of stuff that's going on in this world. So I do tell people all the time, man, if you're going to vote for different people that's going to run our communities while we're away on deployment, make sure you do your research on these people. That way they are protecting our loved ones while they're at school and stuff like that, because the people who are in charge, the senators, the governors, whoever, the people that are in charge while we're gone on deployment and stuff like that do pretty much have direct impact on how our children live their daily lives, right? So we got to stay educated on that, make sure we get the right people in office. Hopefully, we could get some measures in every school. That way, everybody could be protected as they learn. Lastly, this Fort Hood soldier, she allegedly, she was talking about a whole bunch of harassment that's been going on where she works at. She pretty much felt like she doesn't feel like she's safe at work and things of that nature. Now, I only bring up this topic for one reason. I'm gonna put the link down in the description box below for that story as well. But I only bring this up for one reason. The reason is us as leaders, especially if we starting to be officers. A lot of people in my age bracket, we're starting to be chiefs. Some of them even made senior chiefs, the ones that ranked up really quickly. So we're going to have sailors, Marines, and depending on where you're stationed at, you're going to have airmen, you're going to have soldiers. We have to pretty much take what they're saying seriously and actually look into it, because 9 times out of 10, people really do be going through things, and it's like built up over time, and we don't want people to start having these mental health issues that lead to them either taking their own life, or they just so happen not to be crying wolf, and then something bad happens to them. So I also want to shed light on stuff like that, just because it's really, really important that if somebody says they're feeling unsafe at work, that we look into that. I'm not going to speak too much on none of these topics as far as the Texas or the person down in Fort Hood, only because I don't know the whole story, and I would never know the whole story just because I wasn't there. But I do want to shed light for the leaders, the future leaders, man. We got to pay attention to when people do speak up on stuff, man. Hopefully we get better people that's going to be in charge, right? That way, in both situations, even in the shooting and in this soldier's experience, that way people could get taken care of a lot better, because it's all about growth and development. If we can't even do that, then we're pretty much hindering our own success and our own progress. But anyway, YouTube, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you didn't learn something, hopefully you learned something. Or if you didn't know something, hopefully you learned something. And I'll catch you next video. Peace.
It double dollar sign 205. Rest in peace to Tony.